So let's talk MTG and take the ride. Take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never won't miss the vibe. Take the ride. Super subscribe. You never want to miss the vibe.
Always doing it sunny side up. It's the hen. What's up, my friends? Welcome to another round of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Into the SlopHole we go. And also, apparently, this is the My Bones Hurt / My Back Hurts support group based on what I'm already seeing in the chat. I had to laugh, right? You got multiple people. It's like Kenzie going, yo, I hurt my lower back yesterday, sitting here taking it easy. Matt's like, I did that a month ago. I could still barely walk. I went out for a walk today. I'm like, my back hurts. I probably need physical therapy. And it's this is just the old, remember when Magic was Magic the Gathering? Remember when our backs worked? Oh. Okay, let's grab the live stream link, share it in the Discord in case there's anybody else who needs to talk about their back. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. I mean, the options are either being like old and hurting, or being young and dumb, right? There's no in between. There's flaws to every form of living. You got to make all your stupid mistakes when you're young. I mean, I still make mistakes now too, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Okay, links shared. Let's do some hellos. What up, Kenzuki, Millmaster, Death, Matt, Shelton. Who else is in here? 10-4, Crawfish, Aang, Baba, Sheba, Vault. Hello, my friends. Kenzuki, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is worse than your back. Agreed. Millmaster says that he's learning about descaling heating elements, but I think he's learning about descaling lizard men because he wants to try and take on the Illuminati. What up, Beaumont? How you doing, buddy? Shelton Super Chat says, please spin me an insult. No more pizza. Well, we're going to let the fates decide that one, buddy. It's out of my hands. First of all, we need the marker for the board, which, there's one. There's always a bunch around, and yet somehow they're always hard to find, too, at the same time, which makes no sense to me, but, you know, that's life. All right, Shelton, you are Lord of the board. Let's see what the wheel has to say today. Bump, 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 bump. What up, Shipman? How you doing, buddy? Hey, landed on insult. Shelton, you ugly donkey fucker. Admit the truth. You hurt your back because you were crouched down at the bus stop trying to suck random people's dongs, and they kept shoving you over, and you hurt your back falling off the curb. Walking around like this, please, sir. May I have a suckle? May I suckle upon just the tip, sir? If not, may I look eye to eye into the hole? I believe there's treasure for me inside. Shelton, you gangrenous big toe, you need to be amputated. You need to be put into a bag, and then that bag needs to be put into a box, and then that box needs to be put into a bigger box, and then that box needs to be put into a spaceship and fired into the sun. The reason your back hurts is because the universe hates you, and it should. What up, Casey? How you doing? Listen, Millmaster, I don't care. Let the Illuminati bring it, bro. I'm ready. Shiva says, let me see that slop. A reminder my life is not as bad as Wizards' choices for their company. Yeah, I mean, if you want to feel better about what you're doing in life, just look at what Wizards is doing right now. It's embarrassing. Shiba swiping the board from Shelton. He's not going to be able to stop you. His back's all messed up, so you ain't got to worry about that. He's not going anywhere. All right, man, it is gray and dismal out, boys. It really is. I was just out there, went for a walk, because I'm like, you know, obviously I got a lot of stuff to wander through in my mind, and it helps when you wander around in the world, and it was gray and dark and cold, and I don't know how much that helped, but moving around still does. And I knew coming and hanging out and messing around doing this would definitely also make me feel better. It's so weird when you've worried about taking care of somebody for so long, and then they're just off and it's not your job anymore. And it's just like, I'm used to worrying about you. I hope you are okay, you know? It's not the worst problem to have, you know, caring about people, but it is still weird. Let's go, Shiba! A cold walk is good to test mind, body, and spirit. Well, I'm going to say I got 0 out of 3 on that test, buddy. Spirit, mind, and... Oh, it's insult again! Shiba, you get no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle slop because you are the slop. You say, let me see that slop? That's real easy. Go look in the fucking mirror. You'll see the sloppiest human around. Just some weird Yeti-style freak with random hairs poking out all over the place. You know what I mean? Look in the mirror and despair at God's miserable creation. Just thinking about you looking in the mirror makes me depressed. Oh, Shiba, more like dumbass, am I right? The wheel is bountiful with insults for today, all right? So I'm good with it. You know what? And on the toe level, you got weird toes too. You got strange goofbag toes that are all smunched together because you wore weird shoes, and that's what you get. That's what you get. Vault, you won a 40K game at the local LGS, and there's a bunch of people asking for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Commander decks. I'm glad somebody enjoys it. I'm glad there's the product exists, so hopefully some people will find some joy from it. I'm not one of those people like, if you buy this, you're everything wrong with me. No, Wizards of the Coast is responsible for this. People want to buy something that makes them happy. Life's got enough challenges as it is. If some cardboard rectangles are going to make you happy, then find your happiness. At least you don't have to be Shiba, right? I think we can all agree on that. We can all agree on that one. Oh, man. Oh man, I realize I don't know how to use like random things around here. I found this thing under the sink, and it's supposed to be this weird, like, it's almost like a dollop of sour cream that you just squark into the side of your toilet bowl, and it's supposed to help keep it clean. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to make the thing work, but I can figure out how to get the gank all over my hands. And I'm just like, wait a minute, is this something that like, they're like, do not get in contact with skin, wear gloves. And I'm just sitting there like, oops. Just gonna peel the skin off my hands. Sitting there going, how hard can this stuff be? Obviously, I'll get the hang of it. But it's genuinely hilarious how in different areas I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. No clue. So, whatever. Got the goop on the hands. A different kind of goop. Oh, this just came out of me. Why is it burning my skin? I gotta see a doctor. We got to change these pills, doctor, because I'm spitting acid from from my lower head. It's like an alien just spewing acidic goop. Oh man. Too much greatness. That's it. That's the reality. Good thinking, Perkins. Man, oh man. So we've only seen 2 of the awful 5-color pizza cycle yet in person. Not that I'm looking forward to the other ones. They're genuinely troubling to look at. You just look at it and go, this is where we're at. Is it? This is the new reality for Magic? Can't wait until we get past this set. 10 for, you think those toilet gel things have a wand to put them into place? It's like a fucking flute. It's like a flute with little buttons. But then the end of it opens up like a trumpet, and it has like the goop coming out. And I know you just kind of whoop, and it kind of looks like one of those chocolate, like not the coloration, but the design of it. You know when you get like a little chocolate and it's kind of like goes up with a little swirl tip and it's got the little edges coming up? It's supposed to look like that. And it seems like you're just supposed to like press the button in and I think like push or whatever, but I'm going to have to figure it out, man. Jess, you spilled your noodles on the floor? Your reaction time is going down? That's what happens as you age, man. That's what happens. Mill Master Biohazardous pajama clad tested. What? What? Yeah, Perkins, I guess similar to that emoji. You're not 100% wrong. There's lots of little things, and I am enjoying the process of sorting this stuff out, because every little bit feels like a teeny bit of progress, you know? TJ, what? Who are you even talking to? Have you ever considered just trying to be normal and fit into the conversation instead of whatever miserable edge boy stuff that you normally think of? Have you ever considered that? You might genuinely be more comfortable, you know? Or at least you'd get ignored less, right? Blue Cats, what's up? Baba, what did I eat today? For breakfast, I had bacon. I had 3 strips of bacon. I had an egg and an English muffin. And a bit of orange juice, which was just kind of sourish. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the brand of orange juice or if just orange juice isn't my thing, but I'm trying to start out with a pretty decent breakfast. You know, you want a certain amount of calories going into you or whatever. I know that I need to make more adjustments in a healthier direction. I bought some salad. I bought some apples. Last night I was feeling like a bit low, and I decided maybe some comfort food would help. So I went and bought some random junk food. Like I bought a thing of Flakies. I bought a thing of Joe Louis. I bought a thing of chocolate chip cookies. I also bought some pepperoni sticks and some crackers, right? Because I was like, all right. And then I tried some of it, and it's garbage. It's garbage. Like, without not getting high, it all tastes like crap. You know what I mean? I'm like, ew, I don't even like this. So just wasted my money, really. You know? Tried it, was just like, meh. So, got to make some changes. It's all good. I'll find, like, if garbage doesn't taste good to me, I'll just eat healthier food, right? TJ, you love me but hate yourself. Don't hate yourself, buddy. You're redeemable. Like, just because life is hard doesn't mean it's not going to get easier. For real. Just so you know. Like, things can be difficult, but don't beat yourself up. I know too many people who do that. It's all good, Blue Cats. I got some friends who have been nice to me. It's been making things better, you know? So it's all good, honestly. Like, I look at all this and I see how broken up other people are and how hard a time they're having. And really, overall things are good for me. I'm going through the normal process you have when you have a massive life upheaval where you're like, this was the trajectory that my life was on. This was the plan I had made for it. I felt good about that. And now it's like, when you like zero in on a particular path in life, you basically, you like, it's, this might be a rough analogy that might not it might not 100% make sense. But it's like, there's this post that represents your future, and you're just kind of walking towards that post. Like, this is the future. This is the path I'm on. And then when life comes along with a hammer and knocks that post down into the ground, you're just like, oh, my North Star, what am I doing? Like, where am I going? But at the same time, when that post gets knocked down, all these other posts jump up, because the reality is, by walking this path towards this future, you're essentially cutting out all these other futures. So now all of a sudden, there's this massive realm of possibility ahead of me, right? Like, there's all these different, you don't know, like, in which direction to go, but there's so many directions to go. And even in the direction you were heading, that post may be gone, but other ones have popped up slightly off to the left, slightly off to the right. There is a lot of opportunity, a lot of options, a lot of joy waiting out there, and I'm happy about it, you know? So having a good mind state really helps. TJ, work on how you talk to yourself, buddy. Millmaster Super Chat says, juvenile, genetically bungled, stab-happy tortoises. All right, well, we've got our off-brand turtle's name. Let's go. Baba, try some fancy fruits. I was thinking about trying some different stuff like that. It's not a bad idea. At the end of the day, if I'm wasting money on junk food or wasting money on fruit I don't like, what's the difference, really, you know? Oh, you cowabungled it. Now we actually have to go into the SlopHole. I hope you're happy with yourself. Are my friends better snacks? Well, my friends are definitely more helpful than, like, comfort eating isn't really doing as much as I would have hoped. So it's not really an answer. But reaching out to people, having them reach out to me, getting together with people, you know, this is genuinely good. It's made a big difference for me. I'm quite happy about that. Yesterday I went out and played Slay the Spire for 4 hours. Hanging out with you guys also counts and pretty much instantly improves my mood, admittedly. Like, it was pretty cold and dark out there. I had a nice chat with a friend before the stream or whatever, but I went out for a walk and it was kind of like, meh. But then I knew coming here I was genuinely going to feel better, and that was borne out to be the case. It's genuinely dope hanging out with you guys, and I have a lot of appreciation for you. What up, Wyla? How you doing? Listen to the theme from Shaft if you're ever feeling down. That's funny. Kensaki, you see link in the background. Did I know that today is the 40th anniversary of the first Zelda games being released in Japan? No, I didn't. Chosen says, genetically bungled was my nickname in high school. Was it genetically bungled or genetically bungholed? Okay. All right. We got Insectoid Exterminator. It's farting out. It's farting out Grass Killer. Oh God. This is how we're starting it. This is how we're starting it. Murph, how do I feel about the sets coming this year? Mixed bag. Mixed bag. Universe Beyond stuff is wonky as hell. We're gonna have Star Trek, which is just, I don't know how I'm going to live long or prosper under these circumstances. And then we got Reality Fracture, which has the potential to be genuinely interesting with reimagined planeswalkers and things like that. Like different ways things could have gone. Here's this planeswalker if they had actually been walk down a different path. Liliana, instead of becoming a necromancer, is a white aligned healer. There's some potential there, but I do have a little bit of trepidation because Wizards of the Coast ability to deliver on proper flavor and lore has been definitely impacted, you know? All right, we got a Primordial Pachyderm. 4 mana, 4/4 reach trample. When this creature enters, you gain 2 life. Damn! Can we just take a moment to say rest in peace, War Mammoth? Back in the day, War Mammoth was 1 green and 3 for a 3/3 with trample. Now the same gets you a 4/4 reach trample that they're also like, better have a gain you 2 life when it comes out too. Absolutely wild. Oh yeah, Strixhaven has some real potential. And I mean, Lord of the Rings is nice. So at least, while I don't really want any universe beyond in Magic, Lord of the Rings is like as close as you can get, right? The Hobbit, so at least it won't feel nearly as jarring. Then we got the Sewer Valence Cam. We saw that yesterday. Mouser Foundry. Eastwind Avatar, straight up just looking like it could actually be genuine Magic artwork. Slither Encrypted. Oh, God. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, wait. There's 6. There's a cycle of 6. They did 1 in every color. Of course there's going to be more pizzas I wasn't expecting. Of course. Of course. Just, yes, exactly. I make your guys' time better. You guys make my time better. We all win. We all win. Okay, what's this stupid thing? 2 casting cost artifact. When it enters, draw a card. 1, sack it out of mana of any color. 2, sack it to gain 3 life. Sacrifice a pizza with all the cheeses to gain a mana. Okie dokie. Alright then. Okay. Ugh. A skateboard. An equipment skateboard. I'm gonna have Emrakul get on the skateboard and grind a gnarly curve, bro. I'm gonna... Ollie for me, Emrakul! Ollie for me, Emrakul! I'm Tony Hawk! I'm fucking Tony Hawk! When the skateboard enters, tap target permanent. How does a skateboard tap target permanent? What? Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and S haste. Oh, Ollie for me! Jess, yeah, you know what? That's true, bro. Seeing people like the live squid and stuff It's wild. They just like cut them up and pour salt on them and they're all spasming around and it's like, yikes. But you got to remember this, bro. That's natural in a way. Like, we're so far removed from the food chain, right? I'm going to take a moment to talk about this and distract myself from the skateboard. We're so far removed from the food chain. We're supposed to be chasing our food down, right? Your food's supposed to be alive right before you jam it in your hole. Not, I'm going to wander over to the shop where just a piece of it's already ready to go and all this stuff. You know? We've been removed from it, and that's part of what makes you forget about your animal nature, because you don't recognize, wait a minute, I'm a part of this food chain. Like, your existence is predicated on an endless chain of death. Every day things have to die for you to live. That's the reality. Life must be sacrificed in an endless chain for you to perpetuate your own existence. Sheba, I agree. The pizza, the food in the set does look genuinely disgusting. Murph says it's the year 2028. You can complete a grocery list with magic cards. Yeah, you just bring a deck and shuffle up what you're going to randomly get at the store, right? Every day, what's up? Your keyboard's fucked up. Your keyboard's fucked up. You got that accent E going on, buddy. You got to hit like Windows key and Alt or something like that. You got to do something like that, bro. Baba, you remember watching Grandma take care of livestock for dinner back in the Soviet times? Wait a minute. Are you a dirty commie? What? I thought you were a dirty hippie, not a dirty commie. Although there is some overlap between them. Commies tend to be young and all about like, everything needs to be divided out and everything because I'm young and I don't have anything and I shouldn't have to work. I was taken care of by my parents and I should just be taken care of by like society 100%. It's bullshit that I don't have free housing and free food and everything. It's so diluted. And it's like, so you think people should be forced to work for you to get free shit? No, well, that's what it means, right? You realize that. That means everybody's going to be like literally forced to go. No, but listen, in my imaginary world, I just want the stuff. I don't want to think about how we get it. I don't want the repercussions. And I know that every time we try communism, it's failed miserably and it's a busted system, but it's just because you didn't do it right and I just want my free stuff. It's like, okay, when you go spend 10 hours a day working in the jeans factory, making jeans all day, and you're not allowed to do anything else, and, oh, it's all for the greater good, comrade. No, but I thought I'd be like, no, I'm going to be an artist. No. You're going to be a fucking ditch digger. You can't even figure out what to do for yourself in a world where you're allowed to go and figure that out. So you think in this world where everything's assigned to people, that you're going to be assigned to something worthwhile that you're going to be satisfied by? You're out of your fucking mind. You're going to be a ditch digger. You're going to be a toilet scrubber. Ridiculous. Anyways, back to this incredibly enthralling magic product that I can't get enough of. Fucking cowabunga. Genghis Frog. Oh, okay then. This is a frog with a battle axe giving Casey Jones a haircut? Free our brothers. The human reign of terror around here ends tonight. You said it, comrade. Are they at an amusement park? I feel like I'm going to have a seizure. Guys, am I in a coma? Am I in a coma right now? There was a dude going viral for refusing to work because he didn't consent to be born. That's some peak insanity. Nobody did, idiot. You are not unique in that. Everybody is dumped out into the world completely unprepared for it by no choice of their own. That's the reality. Nobody shows up going, yup, I made this happen. You are just a random slap of mutations put together by your parents going like this. Your daddy pushed up on your mama's butt cheeks and now here you are, bro. That's it. Ridiculous. What up? Just how you doing, buddy? Hello, Richard. Genghis Frog. 2 mana, 1/3 trample. Whenever another mutant you control enters, create a mutagen token. Okay. It's got mutagens. Oh, I'm fundamentally unprepared for this stuff, guys. A quintessential katana. Yeah, it couldn't just be a katana. It has to be in a window with antiques and collectibles and stuff, you know, because if they zoomed in too much on the katana, it might just feel like an actual magic card, right? One white equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage, untap it and you gain 2 life. How? What? How does a katana gain you life? Are you carving bits off of people and eating them? This doesn't even make sense. Sheba, imagine being that sad. You know, life is great. I assume that it just comes down to youth. You don't understand the world. And a lot of young people are genuinely taken care of by their parents all the way up until they're an adult. And then even when you go into college, college is very much hold your hand. Like, it's not as much as high school. It's like, you better be or you're going to be in trouble. But it's still very much hold your hand. We're going to hear for 50 minutes. We're going to be here. Oh, wow, I don't know if I can handle it, you know? And then you get out into the real world and you hit that brick wall of, whoa, okay, you know? Millmaster, one day a cleansing rain will come. We can all go and stand out naked in it like Powder when those guys push him into that pond. Have you guys seen that movie, Powder? It feels like out of nowhere, that movie takes a huge tonal shift where I'm just like, okay. Whoa, now it's just about tugging it to dudes. Like, what happened? I don't feel like the rest of the movie was like that. Unless I missed some more subtle shit or something. It really just feels like it went horny for sausage hardcore at the end. And I was just like, what? Is that the cleansing rain? Is it a powder rain? What kind of people are they designing this set for? They were designing this set for people who like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, don't care about the overall flavor or cohesion of Magic the Gathering, and people who have money, really, you know? So either like people who don't care about playing Magic and just want to collect Turtles related stuff, or people who do play Magic and like Turtles, or people who get into Magic and like Turtles, because there definitely is a subset of players that like this. There's no question about that. I hear about them online more. I haven't seen these people coming in the demand for it, but I will be at the pre-release next weekend, so I will get a better gauge on it then, you know? Donatello Turtle Techie. A blue and 3/3/4. When he enters, if you control an artifact, draw a card. Wow. This is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Like, 4 mana for a 3/4 that you have to have an artifact to draw a card for? Even at a common, this is crap, bro. Kitsune's Technique. 2 blue and 4. Sneak for a blue and 1. Target opponent mills half their library rounded up. Huh. Okay. Like a monster seeking prey in the night, the truth will hunt you down. Deep. That's some deep flavor text. Definitely connected to somebody losing half of their library. Okay. Then we got a foil Featherbrain Filcher. Oh my god, it's another fucking pigeon with a hot dog. They couldn't help themselves. We got this in Spider-Man too. Are you fucking kidding me with the fucking hot dog pigeons? The fucking hot dog pigeons. And it talks. It says, hi, I'm Pete. I'm empty, boys. I got nothing left. It's over. It's done. I didn't think anything could break me. And yet here we are. This is it. This is how Magic dies. It's a pigeon in a baseball hat with a hot dog called Pete. It's called Pete because that's short for Peter. Peter means dick. We're all getting dicked. Magic's getting hosed. Please send me to Dimension X. Please teleport me to Dimension X. I'm getting cranked so hard by this set. I'm getting cranked so hard by this set, boys. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Doesn't it do the exact same thing as the Spider-Man pigeon? Well, isn't the Spider-Man pigeon like a 1/1? I don't know. I used to know the Magic cards, but my brain refuses to keep these ones in my head. You know? So there's a question about the card quality. These are North American boosters. Looking at the ceiling. Okay, they have the same sort of roughed, banged up edges that have become a hallmark. There's some whitening down at the bottom. The foils are obviously not flat. So, I mean, I would rate this quality better than Tarkir, but I still need to check out the Japanese stuff too. But it's the more packs you open, the more you'll feel like they definitely don't have a good feel to them either. So it's about standard, I suppose, of what you would expect from Magic the Gathering about now, you know? Jess, you think crying similar to a flashlight? What? What if I thought those things were shaped like a flashlight, bro? If the set could crank your hog, maybe you'd buy into it. I sure would. Think about how the Marvel set's going to be. Oh, I know. See you later, TJ. Have a good one, buddy. City Pigeon is flying 1/1 for white when it leaves the battlefield. Make a food token. Oh, okay. The pigeon is, I think, when it comes into play. No, it's when it leaves the battlefield. So yeah, it's a 0/2. That's the only difference. Oof. Man, oh man. What a ridiculous product this is. I remember when I'd be excited for every new Magic set. Like every new Magic set would be a given. I'd be like, yeah. Oh, I absolutely want a full booster box of this set, bare minimum to start with. And I would get the booster box and I would sit there and I would tear open the packs and I would look at the cards one by one. And I'd just be like, let's look at it. Let's look at the artwork. Let's look at the flavor. Let's look at the concept. All of it. And now it's just like, when spoiler season hits for half of these sets, I'm like, aside from some ridiculous rares and stuff to talk about in videos, I don't pore over all the cards because I'm like, why would I want to? Why would I want to see dumb version number 3 of Spider-Man? Or check it out, here's the 4th version of Donatello. And I even like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm completely indifferent to Spider-Man. Spider-Man never really captured my imagination as a superhero. I found him to be one of the more dull ones. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I enjoyed the show, multiple of their games, like a bunch of stuff. But with this, it's so weird. The set oozes flavor. Tobacco, ba-dum-ching. Every day, anyone know how to change my computer keyboard setting from Canadian to French? Yeah, Blue Cat's told you. There's 2 different ways to do it. Hold on, let me scroll back up because it was on the screen. Where was it? Somewhere. Control Shift or Control Windows button. It's one of either of those. No, because it happens to me every once in a while, and I have to look it up. It's so annoying. Kansky waiting for Garbage Pail Kids? Could happen. It could happen, right? Can't wait for Worf to eat a bagel after fighting a pigeon while inside a board cube in Magic the Gathering. Yup. Do it on down at Bikini Bottom. Why not? And fucking Rick from The Walking Dead can be there. Carl! Habanero, when you were little, you used to make an effort in memorizing all the cards in a new set that was released. Nowadays, who gives a shit? Yeah, bro, I feel you. I remember impressing my uncle because I had like a big 5-row box of Magic cards. And he could pull out any card and I would tell him everything about it. And he was just like, this is crazy. And he kept digging through, thinking he's got to be something in here you don't know. And he just like gave up after a while because he's like, you know all this stuff. This is crazy. I was obsessed with it. Platypus, you missed the old numbered sets like 7th edition, 8th edition. Yeah, those core sets were all right, you know? Bringing back a mix of reprints, giving them a different flavoring. So you'd get a whole new vibe on some cards you'd already seen. Oh, when they switched to core sets being half new, half reprints, I found that to be a little more exciting, you know? Murph, are these all parachute sets now? I mean, it's hard to know exactly how many are. Like, can you really call it a parachute set when it takes them as long as it does to design it? The secret layers that they jam out are definitely parachute stuff because they only have to do 4 or 5 cards and they can do them a lot faster and they don't have to have the product available in advance. So with Final Fantasy, it took them 5 years to get that set ready. With these sets like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man, what I suspect happened is they were created on a shorter timeline, like maybe a year or less, and they're done by like one person. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's like a one-man design team for these sets. I read something like that somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where, so I might be wrong, and maybe it's actually only a couple of people, but I think basically these sets are handed off to individuals who put the set together, and then they have to go and get like feedback from somebody else maybe higher up the chain in terms of how it comes together. But you'll notice it's a lot of the same things, and a lot of Magic set building is paint by numbers. When it comes to limited, it's like you need to have white cards that have this ability and this ability and this ability. You need a white card that punishes creatures for being tapped or for attacking. You need to have like red burn spell number 43. It's basically like this card was set ability, this card was set ability, this card was set ability. There's a lot of presets where you can do it pretty quickly, paint by number style, and then you move up into the rares and other things, and it gets a little trickier. It's part of the reason you see some of these cards just being complete word salad, where it's just like staple ability on staple ability on staple ability on, and just wait until they get their card design AI stuff going to the point where they can just have an AI design a set and then have a random intern designer go and look over it and make some minor tweaks to it, and then they could just go boop, Maybe we'll see more in-universe sets when they can have AI design the cards and AI do all the artwork, and then it'll just be one guy going, I made a set, here you go. Every day, no problem. Glad it worked out for you, buddy. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, everything changes. Unfortunately, a lot of things change for the worse, it seems like. Some of it can be old man yelling at cloud stuff, but ultimately, for anybody who genuinely cared about Magic's flavor and got into it for that, like, this is a completely different world than the world I grew up in. When I was young, there was no internet to go on. So you had far more limited access to the things that you like. And by that I mean, I've really always loved high fantasy stuff. Crazy warriors with swords, fighting dragons and stuff, epic wizards, clerics, sorcerers, all that stuff is really cool. And I loved depictions of it. I found Dungeons and Dragons, like handbooks and stuff, to be really exciting for those full page illuminations that they had, right? Where, like, I have that one, is it around here somewhere? Where are those binders? I could have swore they were right here. That's so confusing. Oh well, whatever. Old man brain, who knows where anything is. Regardless, they did the secret layer based on the D&D book covers and stuff like that. The artwork that you would find in the middle of the D&D books, like, they were straight up awesome looking posters, right? They told a whole story. It's just one picture, but it tells this incredible story all by itself, right? And so Magic comes along, and there's hundreds of these things, hundreds of these pictures that you would normally only get a few pages of in a D&D book or on the cover of a fantasy novel or something. And now there's hundreds of them, each of them telling their own individual story, right? So absolutely cool. Well, nowadays you can find tons of the stuff online. You can find all the stuff that was created before, new stuff that people are creating. So I can get that in another way. So it's not like I have to have Magic for that. But that was one of the things that made Magic so incredible, was it was one of the places where you could find a bunch of awesome high fantasy artwork. And now it's Cowabunga! Here's my skateboard and my pizza and my whatever else in a blatant, obvious, whorish, naked greed attempt to extract as much money as possible from this game for a giant, bloated, dying corporation. Hasbro is a big, fat, bloated piece of garbage that has all these C-suite motherfuckers with huge salaries that got to be paid. And that money has got to be pulled from between our butt cheeks for them and the shareholders. And so you just end up with this horse shit, you know? Tobacco, do you think someday we'll look back at Aether Drift and feel like perhaps we judged you too harshly? Some people might. I won't. Aether Drift is garbage. They literally took a bunch of slush art they already had kicking around, painted Hot Wheels tracks on it, and went, get excited for this crazy awesome race, bro. And like, it's just so hollow and pointless. And they're like, by the way, there's a magic plane where they use gasoline. And you're just like, huh? What? Yeah, they use gasoline. Okay. Are you going to look back on that and think that's cool? Are you going to look back on the people from the insect plane where once the insects get old enough, they go through like, it's like they're finished their larval stage. And when they finish their larval stage, they turn into cars with wheels, like rubber tires? Because that's one of the, like, do you really want to go and explore that? Is that going to be exciting? Hey, can we go to this plane where the insect people turn into cars? How does that affect the overall world? Like, are there other species on that planet, on that plane? And do they like drive these guys? Are there car washes? Who washes the insect cars? What? Like imagine at a certain point your dad got old enough, he just turned into like a Cadillac or like a fucking Toyota Corolla. Like, what? So no, I don't feel like we're going to look back on that and go, I judged you too harshly. Habanero, you playing D&D in 4 hours. Nice. Matt, too big to fail. I mean, Hasbro isn't too big to fail. They're failing already. They lost like $1 billion on E1. They are bleeding out, bro. They are not doing well from a long-term perspective. They're getting some short-term cash grabs, and people will point to their stock price. But stock price is up more than it was before. Okay, and they're profiting short. They're making short-term decisions over long-term growth and gains. Oh no, they're doing good. Okay, enjoy it until the wheels fall off, bro. If that's how you want to look at it, cool, fine. We fundamentally disagree, and I don't care. Carry that around with you. I don't give a fuck, you know? Every day, yeah, me too. I miss all the lore that would come from a 3-set block, getting a full novel, so much world building, so much to sink your teeth into. They didn't always nail it. It's not like it was perfect. I mean, if you compare it to fantasy outside of Magic the Gathering, it doesn't stand up. Like, you can't just take Magic lore and go, check it out. You're going to enjoy this as much as the Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, the Deathgate cycle, Dragonlance novels, because you're not. Those are stories that stand on their own. Magic the Gathering lore is mid-tier stuff. That's really what it is. But when you're into Magic the Gathering, it escalates it into high tier because it adds so much more in to what you're doing, right? It genuinely elevates the stuff overall. And now we get like lore light nonsense a lot of the time, which is pretty frustrating. Tobacco, you're looking forward to getting old to become a moderate value Subaru of some kind. You're going to get traded in. They just take you down to the junker, knock the tires off it, crunch it down into a cube. Beep, beep. That's all you can do is honk your horn. Beep. I should have Christined you guys. Habanero, yeah, guy. Hasbro is falling apart real quick right now. They're struggling to keep it together. That's why they keep pushing their releases around. That's why they got rid of stamps. They weren't like, we're getting rid of stamps because it's hard for people to keep track of different cards. And it's like, you do 15 variants, you liars. The reality is, you keep changing things around because you're like, well, Spider-Man's going to fail. Kick it into this year so its failure can be absorbed by Final Fantasy. But if we stamp on the promos and stuff, then people are going to know it wasn't meant for this year. And that's why. We're going to have to print new promos or whatever. All this crap. Platypus, yeah, stories like Kamal transforming from pit fighter to peaceful druid, right? And his sister turning into Phage the Untouchable, and then Corona. It was really cool. Avila, agreed. The Avacyn Sorin stuff is fucking cool. The Hellvault stuff is cool. That was genuinely interesting. The Eldrazi stuff was awesome. Are you kidding me? The way they did the Zendikar block with exploration, where it's like, okay, we're going deep in the world. We're going to go and check out these catacombs, looking for treasures, and there's traps and all this other craziness. And there's these ancient gods that people are worshiping. But it turns out the gods aren't gods. It's a completely warped mentality where it's actually people, without realizing it, worshiping essentially like echoes of the Eldrazi. And just going, wait, what? These gods aren't gods. They're actually the gigantic, titanic, otherworldly beasts that were eating like entire planes of existence and came here to destroy the world, but got trapped here using magical hedrons. And they've been buried in this place for so long that nobody remembers the horror of them. And the only thing that remains is some non-existent gods named after them. That's so cool. That is such a cool concept. It was a really fun exploration. Like, a lot of years of my life, actually, now that I think about it, I can tie the Magic the Gathering into like phases. I remember the Eldrazi stuff was happening when I was living up in Toronto. That stuff is all distinct. This stuff creates no memories. There's no resonance. I'm not gonna have pleasant memories of Spider-Man or Ninja Turtles. Honestly, the only pleasant memories I will have of these sets is us hanging out together and talking about Magic and other stuff or whatever. Talking smack, doing the wheel streams. You guys are my enjoyment and what I will remember. These sets will fade so quickly. Like, give it a couple more years, you won't even be able to remember all the slop Universe Beyond sets that they've jammed into our cheeks. Yeah, Magoro, you joined in Kaladesh. It's crazy to think back to Kaladesh and how worked up I was about helicopters and cars being put into Magic. I had no idea it was just the tip of the iceberg, and we were going to sit on it and slide down it until the entire icy thing was up inside us, and we were just dripping out cold water, It's weird Nort can force Spider-Man to attack me. Oh, what up, Metal Mania? How you doing, buddy? Tobacco, your commander is Fred's favorite Dodge Durango. What up, Luke? How you doing? Mr. Troll, me explaining the Eldrazi got you so intrigued you never heard it before. It's really cool. It's genuinely really cool. It was a fun experience. And the new Phyrexia change, where they knew they were going to turn it into new Phyrexia, but they let us think that the Mirrans might actually overcome the Phyrexians. And so we went through this 3-set arc that was really cool. And for the one pre-release, they had Mirrored and Besieged side and Phyrexian side. You could choose the side you wanted to battle for, and they each had their own individual boosters. The pre-release boxes came in these like special packs. It was awesome. It was genuinely awesome. So, as somebody who really loves lore and loves diving into it, I do mourn the loss of so much lore, because we got all these Universe Beyond sets jammed in, and people are just like, it's just more product. Like, you're not losing the other sets. If they were making 3 or 4 sets a year before that were Universe Within, well, now they're making, technically they're making more Universe Beyond sets now, but you're still getting Universe Within sets. But they're condensed. They're truncated. So much of the lore is just snipped down to almost nothing. Wizards is still capable of delivering on get out of here. On delivering on actual genuinely interesting lore. The side stories for Lorwyn Eclipsed are engaging. I liked them. The ones that I read, I was like, okay. The Boggart sneaking into the Giant's house, All right, the tragic tale of the two different elves on the light and dark side. Yeah, I can get down with this. I don't think I've read the third one yet, but I'm going to at some point because I was actually engaged by the other two. But the main story was like, check it out, we got a deaf owl. Why? Politics and current stuff and nothing to actually do with making the story better. Great. I'm glad you wasted a chunk of the story on this. Don't worry, though. We have a non-binary vampire. Can you stop? Can you stop with the non-binary stuff? It's not healthy. It's not healthy to push this on the kids, right? It's not healthy to subsume their identities with made-up internet bullshit and tell people you can just pick what you are. You can't pick what you are. You're born what you are. Once upon a time, it used to be like, yo, don't judge people for how they are. Are you straight? Are you gay or whatever? That's cool. You're born that way. You're literally born that way. Be who you are, love yourself, and be comfortable with it. And then it turned into, it's all a construct and you can just pick. You can't, and you're going to be incredibly unhappy. You can't just pick to be something. You have to understand who you are. And that takes time. That takes thought. That takes experience. Young kids aren't prepared for this crap, man. You just see them out in the world and they're just like, it's just some chick with a button on that says non-binary and a name tag that says Dennis. And it's like, come on, Dennis. Come on. This is like, you're not helping yourself here, genuinely. Like, I want you to be okay. But this is all artifice. You're being lied to. And they lied to us when we were young too in different ways to market things to us. And that's all it is. It's soulless marketing and manipulation. And it's just going to lead you to be unhappy. So cramming that stuff into these stories doesn't make it better. It's empty, hollow tokenism meant to sell you a product, right? From a company that doesn't give a shit about you, bro. Antonio, what's up? You just found the channel and stream? You love the streams and videos? Well, thanks for letting me know, buddy. I appreciate it. You're an old head Magic player, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle product is fucking garbage. Correct. Matt, yes, they're spread so thin with so many releases. They can't spend the time to dedicate as much to the sets. Lorwyn Eclipse actually has a banger vibe. And I suspect part of that is because they had a bunch of artwork left over from the previous Lorwyn. But it's genuinely good. Or maybe they were working on Lorwyn when the edict came down. We got to put out more Universe Beyond stuff. Agreed, Matt. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're doing in the bedroom. It's all good. Keep it to yourself, right? Keep it to yourself. Habanero, you'll never forget walking into your card shop when you were a teen and picking up your new Phyrexia faction packs. And the owner of the shop told you, all hail Phyrexia, my brother. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Unique, yeah. Of course I can. Of course I can. Unhappy people buy more slop. People do buy more in an attempt to mitigate negative emotions. I would agree with that, right? And people are afraid make bad decisions. Yeah, fear is a powerful motivator. You know, like I get that because change is scary. I got some change going on right now, and that definitely adds a level of fear in, man. I've lived in some pretty extreme poverty before, and that is definitely one of my big fears is going back to that, right? So that motivates you to act a particular way. There's all kinds of different ways that fear motivates you. So I do agree with that. Avila, what's better as a commander? Perforos, God of the Forge, or Plarg and Nasari? You're asking the wrong guy. I am not adept at Commander. I find a lot of Commander to be really frustrating. When they say you need to play with the right group, they're not kidding. Because most of the experiences I've had with the format have been incredibly frustrating to me. I hate that people, it's emotional bullshit. It's ridiculous. Everybody acts like they're not trying to win and they're not a problem while they're all setting up their ways to win or whatever. And you're not supposed to attack people or try and win in the game of Magic. And like decks is a form of self-expression. I get. I've built like Dwarven decks and Caribou decks and Tree Folk deck and Fungus decks. I built a lot of different decks to explore fun concepts. But still, I was intending to win the game with them. It was never like, don't attack me. I'm just a tiny little nobody. 2-card combo, I win. Okay. It's like you're not supposed to lose at Commander, but you're going to lose 75% of the time because there's 4 people. So if everyone wins equally, you're only going to win 25% of the time. And people get butthurt over you attacking them. So you just have to roll a die to determine who you're attacking, or go, you have the highest life. I can't stand all of that. So as a result, I don't spend a lot of time evaluating things from a commander perspective. You'd be better off asking somebody who knows about the format, because part of it's going to be about the kind of deck you want to build too, right? I don't think there's just a automatic answer for questions like that unless you're playing competitive EDH, where the answer becomes very obvious because it's like the decks are solved or whatever. This is the most powerful strategy you can do in this color. This is the most powerful strategy you can do if you want to go a mill route, if you want to go a burn route or whatever, right? So Malmania, there's nothing wrong with that. Jess, yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Everybody, you got to figure out ways to make it work. You've got to deal with what you've got. People make toxic decks and then complain when they get targeted. I mean, I brought in a literal starter deck, like a commander precon, and I said, I'm playing a precon. That's the level I'm looking to play at. And they're like, okay. And then like third turn Kali of the Vast swinging in, putting crazy stuff straight into play. And I was like, what did you hear when I said that? Like, I'm playing a precon. And they're like, good game. It wasn't a good game. You steamrolled me with overpowered garbage. I have news for you. Just because you had fun jerking off doesn't mean this was a good game. I don't want to play you anymore at all. Like, I'm literally just going to pull out my phone and be like, oh, gotta go. No, sorry, I don't have time for another game because I don't want to play against you anymore. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You know? It's absurd. People will just play the most broken nonsense. It's like, okay, cool, but I'm not playing that. Do you have a deck on this level? Like, or even close to it? No? Okay. Bye. Like when you're playing two-player Magic, that's not really nearly as much of a thing. What format are we playing? All right, let's slap some decks out. I don't know. Whatever. You know? At the end of the day. Doesn't matter. Millmaster, that Japanese candy. I actually took that down with me to the store yesterday. So when we were playing Slay the Spire, my buddies could try it. Yeah, Avila, I mean, do whatever works for you, buddy. I'm not like rabidly anti-Commander. I had fun playing it at the event a couple of weeks ago, but that was a pod of all people that I knew, and we sat down, and I lost. I didn't care, though. I had fun hanging out with them. I had fun playing. I don't care about winning. I genuinely don't care that much about winning. Obviously, that's the goal for the game, but like, I've won so many Magic tournaments over the years and so many different games, and I don't have anything to prove. You know, there are people who need to win at Magic because that's the only arena in their life where they can win. So their life is difficult, right? They don't have a significant other. Some of them never have. They haven't had meaningful relationships. They don't have a job that gives them satisfaction. They don't have other hobbies that bring them fulfillment, really. Like, you want to feel like you're winning somewhere, right? And so these people, Magic can be that for them. And you'll know because, like, when they win, it's a big deal. And when they lose, they need to explain to you how they were going to win, because being a winner at Magic is a core part of their identity that helps them survive, essentially, right? Everybody wants to feel like they have worth in some area. Everybody wants to feel like they have value in some area. Everyone wants to feel like they have competence in some area. And for some people, that's Magic the Gathering, especially considering Magic the Gathering appeals to outsiders, people who are socially inept, losers, strange individuals like me. You know what I mean? Like, I fall into that group of Magic players, not the group of people who don't have anything going for them, really, though. I don't have a problem with anything like that, but I can see it, you know? So that's going to make some people act the way that they do. And maybe later, when they get further down in life, some other things will go on that will make them feel a bit better, and they won't feel the need to do that as much. Sheba, last FNM was brutal. The dude kept playing decks that took 10 minutes to dig through his deck to get the win con. Yeah, that sounds boring. But when you're playing in competitive, like actual sanctioned tournaments, anything goes, right? So, Jess, you like making decks that can compete? Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be able to actually play instead of just get beat down. Mailmaster, you're 100% rabidly anti-commander. Fair enough. Fair enough. I can't say for sure how I would feel or how things would go if I was not also doing this Magic Historian stuff, because it's kept me involved with Magic in a different way, and I connect with more people, and it's much bigger to me than just actually playing the game now. So I'm guessing that if I wasn't involved with it on the level that I'm on and wasn't connecting with so many people and enjoying myself in numerous different ways, I probably would have just gone the route of, I have my cube, I'm not going to put anything in my cube that comes from any weird outside property. Forget it. And I might have just gone the route of entirely proxying my cube earlier. It's all proxies now because the great sell-off was required because of life circumstances, right? You can't sit there and have all that cardboard sitting there worth money when you owe money to somebody else and you got to make sure they're getting paid, right? So while I was in loot prison, people were getting enjoyment from that. So I like making people happy. I like entertaining people. It's genuinely satisfying. It adds to my existence. Commander is the participation trophy event of Magic. I mean, in a lot of ways, yes. People want to... it's treating Magic like it's a board game. Commander is Magic, the board game. And that's fine. That's fine for the people who like it that way. I don't play my cube any way other than one-on-one. I've got no interest in I've never liked the complete randomness of multiplayer because people's threat assessment is completely off and they make nonsensical decisions, and it drives me crazy because it's like, why are you doing this? What the hell's the point of that? You know? Vila, everyone wants to feel control. I mean, yeah, they want to feel like they have control over their existence. Why wouldn't you, right? See you later, Sheba. Have a good one. Once table talk starts in Commander, all the rules are out of the game. Well, how do you have Commander without it? Of course people are going to start doing all that, you know? Habanero, yeah, you know what? That's an excellent point. Cube is way more balanced than Commander because everybody has access to the same card pool and the same power level. Whereas Commander, it's all over the place. And people either have terrible assessment of the level of their deck. Whatever, if I'm playing the deck, it's low on the power scale. If you're playing the exact same deck, it's high on the power scale. Because now I'm facing off against him. What you're doing is bullshit. But anything I do that's bullshit to you isn't bullshit because I'm having fun doing it. There's a lot of that going on. So there's a number of factors that contribute to that. Yeah, of course, Jess. If you have a few cards that when you put them out, it's an instant win, then everybody's going to beat you up once you start to get part of it out. Like, it's crazy how people don't seem to understand that. It's like, this guy puts out this card, and I'm like, he's like, why are you focusing on just me? I'm like, because you're literally playing a 2-card win con. He's like, I don't have the other card. Okay, and you're not going to get it because I'm going full tilt at you. I don't understand why. Because you're literally, all you have to do is draw 1 card and you win. How is that not obvious? How do you not fundamentally understand that? Like, you should be able, like, would you not do the exact same thing? If anybody else was just, they can just draw 1 card off their deck and they just win, wouldn't you go, that's the biggest problem? If you don't go that, what's wrong with your brain? How is it not obvious? Like, for real, how is it not obvious? So yeah, of course, anytime you put down one of your 2-card combo, I'm going to pull the brakes on going after anybody, and I'm going to throw everything I have at you. Doesn't matter if it leaves me open to these other guys to sweep me up afterwards, because I'm just going to lose to you playing the 1 card, and you have other ways to get it. How do you not see this? It's so aggravating. It's so aggravating. Are you playing dumb, or are you just dumb? Which is it? Both annoy me. Platypus, you like 2-headed giant? You're not the only one who does. There are people who like it. I'm not one of them. But there are definitely people who like 2-headed giant. for sure. The format wouldn't exist still if there weren't, right? I think the less competitive you are when you play games, the more likely you are to enjoy Two-Headed Giant and Commander and stuff like that. But if you play to win, and I don't mean like relentlessly play to win and winning is so important to me, but like the point of the game is to win, right? Then you play to win. There's some games where you're supposed to play to win where I actively don't. I go against the actual rules of the game, like Cards Against Humanity. I don't like playing by the rules of Cards Against Humanity because the rules are once somebody gets 10 points, the game's over. And I don't want to do that because it's a lot of fun playing that game. And it's all about the laughs. And I get to 10 points way too fast. I literally warp the metagame of Cards Against Humanity time and time again. People start getting obsessed with how many points I have and trying to stop me from getting more points. So instead of picking the best answer that's the funniest to them, they will try and figure out what my answer is and not pick it, which is obnoxious because I don't care about the points. I don't want to keep track of the points. I don't consider me the winner of this game. It's not about winning. It's about having laughs. It's about understanding other people enough and caring about them enough that you want to make them laugh based on their sense of humor. And I'm very good at calibrating my sense of humor to different individuals based on their reactions. So I slaughter at Cards Against Humanity. I literally have to hide the pile of win points because I'm like, I don't want you guys to know the game's already been over for however long at all. How many points do you have? Don't worry about that. Let's just keep playing. Let's have a good time. Like, so there are games where I don't play to win because that's not my goal. So other people who don't want to play Magic to win, cool. But Magic has always been like play to actually win it to me. So it's hard to mesh with people who don't share that, you know? Avila, you like the luck in Magic the Gathering. You like the randomness, right? You never know what you're going to get. That is part of the appeal. It doesn't play out the same way as chess does, where every single time it's like, okay, what opening you go for? Here's the counter to it, all this stuff. There is a little more variety in what's going on. One of the things that's appealing about Commander is the sheer variety of cards, right? Where you build your deck and maybe 30-40% of it is land, but you're going to have like maybe 60 different cards. But Wizards' design has, and they even brought this up themselves, has created more and more redundancies where you can have the same thing over and over and over. Metal Mania, how many tournaments have I won? No clue. Couldn't tell you. That many. Tons. I played Magic for years and years and years. So I never went up to the high professional levels. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about local levels, at most like 64 people in the tournaments. But I won with weird decks. I won with hardcore control decks, burn decks, goblin decks, all kinds of different things, weird enchantress decks, so many times that I stopped caring about the win. At first it was like, hey, this is a lot of fun, but the win feel, once you've won enough tournaments, you'll actually find a startling truth. The win becomes empty. And you sit there going, this doesn't mean anything to me. It's the journey to the win that's exciting. It's the games, the actual playing of Magic, and at the end you just get, okay, cool, I won again, you know? At the game store that I played at, my name's on all kinds of different fucking trophies from back in the day. I got into Legend of the Five Rings for a bit. Guess what? I started winning. I got into Shadow Fist for a bit. Guess what? I started winning. I'm good at taking a game, figuring out what the most broken stuff is, and running with it. I got into Legend of the Five Rings because I could see how broken it was from outer space. I'm like, let me get this straight. You can pick any clan you want. They basically tap for gold, which is mana. And it's like, And it's like, so this one here taps for 7 mana, but only to cast wizards. And it's like, yup. And dragons are wizards, and they cost 10 or 11 mana? Oh, okay. And so I built a Phoenix honor-based deck, which was all about just stopping combat. It was completely about stopping combat. And even representatives from the people who made the game, like, they did not understand what the hell it was I was doing. They were so confused. They were like, you're winning with honor victories with a Phoenix deck? And it's like, yeah, because you can spam out wizards so fast. The downside is it makes the wizard Shadowlands, which is an almost irrelevant trait. There's one card that when it flips up, destroys all Shadowlands things in play. But guess what? By the time I've got the wizards out and they have the Shadowlands thing, doesn't matter. I already got what I needed from them. They're there for honor, and they're there to cast spells to end combat. But the game had a built-in thing where you could essentially remove one dude from combat every turn if you had the highest honor. And I would just keep doing that. So people couldn't destroy my provinces. I would crank honor faster. Crane is supposed to be the honor clan, but Phoenix could blow right by them. When I started playing, nobody was using the, what the hell was it called? Merchant Caravan or something like that? It's like a zero cost land, because you pay for the lands in this game, right? You pay for your mana producers. So you got something that makes 2 mana. Come on, go back out. You'd pay for a land. And then this land is like a zero cost land that lets you discard a card from your hand for almost the equivalent of mana equal to its casting cost, right? So it was an insane accelerator. And I'm like, how is nobody playing with this at all? So I played with this stuff, and all of a sudden people realized, wait, this is actually good. I'm going to play with this. And I ran through I'd only been playing the game for a week, and I jumped into a big tournament and beat everybody down. It didn't matter. I played against the best Scorpion deck. Scorpion is very dishonorable. They drop their honor down to 0. All of a sudden, their provinces lose all the strength. So in the final match, I actually switched from honor victory into dragon destruction and just beat the hell out of them, which is like, oh, your provinces are no longer defended. Guess what? It's dragon time. And I just started smashing everything he had. So the chick who ran the event was just like, I came up for the last one, and she was just like, let me guess, honor victory. I'm like, nope, military victory. And she's like, what the hell is happening? So yeah, back in the day, you didn't have the internet. And it wasn't just, you could take advantage of other people's knowledge, what they had figured out, and take like that strategy and roll with it. You had to figure shit out on your own. And I've always been very good at figuring things out. Yeah, Millmaster. Yes, that's a good way of summing it up. Magic games are a puzzle, and solving the puzzle of the game state is way more satisfying than actually winning the match. That's it. Victory becomes genuinely hollow, you know? Have I considered developing my own game? I don't have much interest in that, honestly. You know, what I'd be more likely to write like a fantasy novel or something like that than I would be to develop my own game. You know? It's like, just because you like something doesn't mean you want to make that something. Like, I like pizza. I don't want to open a pizzeria, you know? Like, I'm thinking about going down to Pizza Hut after the stream is over, because I could use some greasy pizza in me. Thinking about that sounds pretty delicious. But, yeah, I don't know. It's also cold and far, and I'm just kind of, I don't know how I'm going to be after this stream, so we'll see how it goes. But I don't want to open a pizza place is the point I'm trying to make. I don't want to get sidetracked off of that. Defective, how's it going, buddy? So yeah, I like breaking systems and just like finding the most crazy nonsense you can do in them. It's satisfying, right? But truthfully now, I don't care nearly as much about winning games on my own. I'm way more interested in cooperative games. I'd like to build up a collection of cooperative games and play them with friends and enjoy myself. And part of that too is I want more games that I can play with the ladies, because the majority of ladies aren't competitive the same way that men are and appreciate more of a social experience. And I'd rather have a fun time winning or losing a game with a lady together rather than like beating her down in some game, because it's like, do you have like tons of experience with games? Because I do, like tons, to the point where I can get a grip on most games pretty quick and it becomes obvious the way to win, right? There's usually some crazy side stuff you can do that people aren't expecting, whatever it is. It depends on the game. But yeah, cooperative games have become a lot more interesting to me, and I'd like to build up a collection of those. Slay the Spire is a fantastic cooperative game. Me and my buddies were playing it yesterday, and man, oh man, we made it to the final boss in that game, and I was sure we were going to lose. I had basically given up hope. I was like, man, we are hanging on to the cliff's edge by our fingernails. But we actually figured it out and won. And it was like, woo, we did it, boys. We did it. And as you play, you can actually move up the difficulty level as you get to higher ascensions. So that was Ascension 1, where the elites were stronger, and it was definitely harder. So genuinely a lot of fun. While you're going to get some pizza, do it up. Enjoy. They've got like a pizza and waffle fry kind of deal going on right now that I'm considering. It'll really boil down to how I feel after we're done here. But yeah, no, I've never considered developing my own game. I'm actually more focused right now on just trying to get my life in order. And they say you've got to you have to grieve for the life that you're no longer going to have, right? Because things are very, very different, and it's exciting in a bunch of ways, genuinely exciting. Like, I'm happy for both of us because this wasn't some awful fight and some other bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, but at the same time, there's a lot to deal with. There's a lot to deal with, and creating a game is just a massive undertaking. That's massive. Millmouse, you saying men out hunting with each other evolved a sense of competition, and women in camp with the kids developed a sense of caring and harmony. I mean, it boils down to like multiple levels, right? Like survival aspects. Men can just kind of leave the tribe more easily than a woman can, because women need the protection of the tribe from the perspective of, if they end up getting pregnant, for example, that is a huge disadvantage in terms of being able to like run away from things that are a danger to you. You're a lot more vulnerable. So that's why women naturally trend towards community and resolving problems, togetherness, all that kind of stuff. And men, well, I mean, we compete in different ways, obviously, right? So it's men's competition is more direct, and women's competition is more subtle and social, right? And it definitely guides what we enjoy. But I do enjoy competitive stuff, but I want to explore the cooperative side more, because there's a lot of joy to be had there, right? Yeah. I mean, dudes can afford to take more risks, right? Like, one dude can help 20 women make kids. One woman could only help 20 guys make kids over like 20 years if she could even handle it, which would be a very big and difficult undertaking. So there's a vast difference between us on a biological level that impacts how we interact with the world and what we do. And yeah, men are way more self-destructive as well. We're worse at taking care of ourselves. Men make worse choices on their own than women do. These are generalities. It's not obviously going to be across the board, but it is the reality that men do a worse job of taking care of themselves, which is another reason that women outlive us, aside from the straight up biological advantages that they have that help them outlive us. Testosterone is literally destructive in one way, right? And it's just there in us, poisoning us. Animal existence is such a wild thing, because especially when you're born into this society where we've advanced so far beyond our animal nature, like our original animal living out in caves, living way more like wild animals, you don't even really think of yourself as an animal, which is crazy. We think that we're completely removed from nature when we're absolutely not. And all these choices that we make are not based on an understanding of what we are, you know? Metal Manny, you're pumped that I would have the opportunity to have kids and be the best game master for their RPG escapades. Anything can happen, right? There's a wide possibility of things out there in the world, and that is definitely not ruled out. That's what I said when I said earlier, when you knock down that one post that is your North Star and where you're headed, all of a sudden all these other ones pop up. Who knows? I'm not out looking to start a family, but I was never 100% against that either. It's really just like a whatever it is kind of scenario. And honestly, I was more than happy to have it as just me and her. I didn't need anything more. You know what I mean? I never felt like I was losing out on anything like that. So I'm good. I'm just going to see whatever life has to offer, man. It's all good. Jess, you're going to watch till I retire. You're never leaving. I don't think that I'll ever retire, to tell you the truth. This isn't the kind of thing you retire from, because like, I've always loved entertaining people, making people laugh, connecting with people. It's inherent to who I am. I've done this my entire life. Like, it's literally a fundamental part of who I am. And now that there's a way to spread that out with more people rather than just in person, I'm never really going to walk away from that. So I feel like I'll be one of those people who was like, even if I'm sitting there like super old with an oxygen tank and can barely do anything, I'll still be here talking shit and hanging out, you know? Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of years of hunting and gathering versus 10,000 years of like agriculture and farming. And like, these are obviously vast improvements. Like, mankind has moved so much forward that we all get to supremely benefit from it. We don't have to spend all our day chasing food and preserving our calories. We don't have to be like a mobile mammoth processing tribe. You know, there's a lot of advantages. A lot of advantages. This, for example, the fact that we can connect across the world is amazing, right? I love how baffling it must be for people who are like, so I thought that this was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this guy's just talking about all kinds of random hunter-gatherer crap and what's going on with him and all this stuff. Oh, man. Oh. But yeah, I've always interwoven what's going on in my life into the live streams and whatever. Not so much in the videos, because the videos are a little more concise, but the live streams have always contained elements of that. And anybody who doesn't like it isn't forced to participate, so I never feel bad about it. You know, they just look at it and go, okay, hey, why are you doing the thing? It's like, bro, there's a million things out there for you. Don't even worry about it. If you just want to see pure Turtles openings and you want somebody who's excited about it, you can find that. If you just want Turtles openings and you're somebody who's not into it, you can find that. And they will just do back-to-back, pack. They won't tell you about anything that's going on with them because they're there to do a presentation, whereas I'm here to hang out with you guys. And the turtle stuff is just something for us to do while we're hanging out, right? So at the end of the day, I would never turn it into a just presentation style. I prefer the connection that I get with people doing it this way. There's a reason my live streams are small, because it's not going to be for everybody, but it's going to resonate more with the people it's for. And people reach out to me and tell me, yo, I'm having actually a really hard time in life, and these streams help me a lot. And that's worth like fucking 10,000 people coming by. Like, I don't like this. Okay, cool. It's not for you, bro. No worries. Enjoy your life. There's a million things to do, right? The people are so deranged that not just will they do that on live streams, but on videos. Somebody came by on the Hasbro video and was just like, you're very off-putting and your style is off-putting and you need to have someone else write your scripts and somebody else be on the screen. And I'm like, yep, let me get right on that. You realize this video has been watched by like 90,000 people so far, and like 96% of them have enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll get right on making the changes for you in particular, because you're the center of the universe and you're what matters the most here. Oh wait, no, actually here, I'm the center of this universe, and you can decide if you like it or go fuck yourself. Those are your two options. There's really nowhere else on the scale. There's lots of places where they'll go, oh my God, thank you so much for coming here. I could never do this without you. Of course I could do this. I'm the one doing it in the first place. I'm happy that the people I like come by, and the people that I don't know haven't given me a chance to know them. So it's like, cool, you want to give me the chance to get to know you? Awesome. And the people who want to be rude, cool, you've made the decision we don't need to know each other. Enjoy your life, friend. Go on. There's a ton of things to do. I'm not going to stop you. Your minutes are precious. Don't waste them on what you don't like. I'm not gonna. Kenzie, oh, you sneezed and you're back? That sucks. That's the worst. When your back's so messed up that you're like, please, no, sneeze. Like, right? Habanero, you're pretty much retired from Magic. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. Do I think you come here for Magic? Nope. I know you like to come and hang out because there's good people here, bro. Jess, the only change you want me to go through is to be happier and fulfilled. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I will definitely get there. You can't speed these things up, you know? Like, what I had really mattered to me, right? And she still really matters to me. I want the best for her. I hope she's super happy. I want me to be super happy, but you got to take time to get there. And I absolutely will. I'm not in any doubt of that. I've had multiple long-term relationships end, and it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge, and I have way better ways of dealing with it than I used to. Previously, bro, I would have been getting high as hell. That would have been my go-to. I am going to shrink things down with a fog. I'm going to obliterate my awareness, but that doesn't that doesn't help you process shit. It just helps mask it or whatever. The stuff's going to come out one way or another. And if I want to meet somebody else and have a good time with them, then do I want to have all of this looming in my mind and causing issues? Or do I just want to let it naturally flow so whatever happens, happens, and I can just appreciate it and lean into it, you know? That's it. That's it. Antonio, you're on marriage 3. I feel you. I mean, I've only been married once, but I had a relationship before that may as well have been a marriage. We didn't actually like do the full on getting married thing, but we were together for almost a decade. And it was, I mean, I've been married. It was the fucking equivalent. To me, there's no real difference ultimately between the two, really. I mean, there's some legal differences, but in terms of the way it feels when you're living it, didn't really feel like much of a difference to me at all. Nothing I could really pin down. There are definitely some legal differences, though. Jess, your longest relationship was a year and a month? Well, you know what, buddy? There's some people who just don't date at all. They have they don't get a month, they don't get a week. I know a guy who is 50 years old, and he's never had a girlfriend. He likes women, but he's terrified of them. And he can't get over that fear at all. To the point where multiple people have tried to set him up on dates and picked women who would be really nice and really easy to deal with and would not give him a higher level challenge, basically training wheels level stuff. And he just ran from it. He's fundamentally unprepared for it, and he never will be because he's not willing to even put a toe in the pool, which is crazy because you're it's one thing if you experience it a bunch and realize it's not for you. It's another to not experience it at all and deny yourself one of the fundamental human experiences, because he's a totally normal looking guy who can hold down a job. He doesn't have these sort of things that make you go, you have these massive problems that would make it impossible for you to hold down a relationship. He is his own problem. And it's sad and fascinating, honestly. It's crazy, you know? Millman says, interpersonal relations are not magnets. Opposites don't attract. It's gravity. Bigger, heavier people draw in smaller masses. Antonio, you agree that living together and married is the same shit? It really is. It really is. Misty, yep, some of these things can't be resolved in a day. Absolutely. I literally gave my mom a shout on the phone yesterday because I started to have a bit of an issue where I was like, okay, I'm not where I want to be mentally. This stuff is compounding and it's making me feel really unhappy. So I just gave her a call and was like, yo, can we chat for a bit? And she was like, of course, anytime you want. And she just mostly listened to me and gave me a nice little bit of motherly advice. And just being able to talk about it was more than enough. You know, she's like, it makes sense that you're worried about her, right? It's only been a little bit of time and you're used to taking care of her. That was one of your big roles. So of course you're still going to feel that way, right? And it's just, as time progresses, you won't feel that way as much because the evidence will be there. It's all good. Everything's going fine. You don't got to worry about it. Worry about yourself. Take care of yourself. Just enjoy. Have a good time, right? Habanero, you had to have multiple anxiety attacks to get yourself to stop with the herb. Didn't stop after the first one because you weren't totally sure it was the herb causing it. The second one you were, well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you don't know what's causing it, it does though. It ramps up anxiety, can cause you depression and stuff. It genuinely, for me, is a negative thing now. I might have at one point needed it somehow to get through life, and that I might not have made it the same way that I did if I didn't. But I recognize now, bro, after almost 2 months, this is the longest streak I have of not getting high in 15 years. And it's great. I know I would be a train wreck if I got involved with that stuff. Absolutely. If I was getting high, then I would be very sad, and I would start looking for companionship immediately. And most likely I would end up hanging out with people that I shouldn't and making choices that weren't optimal for me. So I'm just accepting that through this process, I'm going to feel down sometimes, but it's all good. There's ways to deal with that. Hell, streaming is one of them. The fact that I can just come and chat with you guys about whatever. We can clown on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We can talk about what's going on with you guys. Whatever it is, it's very, very freeing. I don't feel like I have to hide who I am from you, even though it will genuinely make some people uncomfortable. They'll be like, I don't like this level of talking about life stuff. I'm looking for distraction from my own life. I don't want to hear about this. And it's like, that's a totally valid perspective. That nobody is required to listen to this or spend their time on any of it. You know what I mean? So I'm just going with my own vibe, and the people who want to be here and hang out with me, cool. And the ones who want to find other things to help them with their day or distract them or whatever it is, cool. It's all valid. It's all valid. Yeah, Kyle, it's nice. It's nice when you're part of a team and you can trust the other person to do their part, and together you are greater than the sum of your parts, right? That is a nice feeling. So, we get to feel that sometimes we don't. Everybody's situation is different. Jess, I need a purple pimp suit. Hell yeah. Dad says, thanks for all you do to entertain us. Never forget you're enough. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I do. I feel like I'm genuinely handling all of this quite well. And part of it is because out of all of the breakups that I've had, I would say this one has been handled probably the best, genuinely. You know what I mean? Where it's been done with care and consideration for the other, and care and consideration for myself too. So yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot over the years. I've learned a lot. I get to carry that forwards. And you never know what life has in store for you at all. At all. 8 years ago, my life was nightmarishly hard. Nightmarishly hard. Ridiculously difficult. And now, I've got challenges or whatever, but I got a lot of good stuff going on, right? All of this happened. I never thought that I would be doing any of this, and now I get to reach out to more people than ever. It's fucking awesome. It is genuinely a good time. Oh, but I think that I should probably go and eat. One of the things I've learned about myself that's very important is I have to keep myself fed. Because if I don't, my mood crashes horrifically. And I can either end up getting really sad, or I can become irritable and I'll be short with people. So I need to find the right balance as to what to eat and when. This is an interesting part of the journey for me because I'm pretty clueless when it comes to food preparation for the things that I want, the right amount of food to feed myself. I have an app to help me track calories, and I do have a food scale on my wish list. I will at some point have a food scale which will let me weigh things out, and between those two I should be able to find the right balance, and then I'll just pay attention to when it starts to make me feel low, and I'll just start carrying around some kind of fucking snack bag or something. It would be easier if I didn't have this dental stuff going on that I'm still healing from, because then I know I could just carry around a bag of almonds or something, but there's some restrictions as to what I can eat now. So, I'll get it sorted out. Am I going to MagicCon Vegas? No. The next trip I'm going on is to the Shattering. Dominic, one of the guys who comes and hangs out in the chat, actually said he'd be interested in bringing me out to play some Magic and stuff. He'd pay for me to come out and whatever. So I might actually be coming out to the States to another part of it. I don't know if that would be on my own, flying out or whatever else. There's a bunch of stuff to figure out. But no, I have no plans to go to MagicCon. Millmaster, you started developing a bachelor lasagna? Yeah, lasagna's great. I definitely do like lasagna. But I'm also pretty particular about ingredients. So I most likely will need to modify it because most lasagnas use cheeses and things I'm not interested in. I don't like feta cheese. So my lasagnas are basically hamburger meat, the sauce, mozzarella, and noodles. Wow, my mouth is watering thinking about it. Metal Mania, you'd love to help me get healthier. You got a lot of experience with it. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. It's nice to know there are people around who can help point me in the right direction when I'm not sure what I should be doing, where I should be going with it. There are a whole number of things that I'm looking forward to making improvements in. And I know that small improvements in one area can lead to improvements in others, so it all just kind of blends together. It all ends up with things becoming better overall. It uses mozzarella, parma, and ricotta. Yeah, okay. So ricotta is a no-go for me. But the other two I could get down with, right? So we could make a Mike's modified version of it. Lasagna does sound pretty good. I should make a list. Hold on. I'm gonna take out, here we go. I'm gonna take out this clipboard, and I'm gonna write down on the back here. I'm gonna write down foods that I haven't thought of having. So I just have, like, the next time I'm gonna go grocery shopping or whatever, I can go, yo, you can make lasagna, and then I'll know, check the stuff you got, figure out. Like, I won't just be able to go to the grocery store automatically and get the stuff for it, depending. But what I can do is make a list of the stuff and pay attention to what's on sale. So when blocks of mozzarella cheese are on sale, I can grab that and then go, okay, now I have some of the stuff I need to make lasagna. So that's good right there. So lasagna. All right, I'm going to go food list. This was already something I've been making lists. And I had a list saying you need to, like, figure out the food situation is on the list. So making a food list will definitely help with that. I'm not letting myself be embarrassed by my ineptitude in any area, because you have to learn. You got to figure it out. And I mean, I used to know some of it, but after a long time of somebody else being responsible for that kind of stuff, a lot of the knowledge has slid away. I haven't really thought about it. So when somebody mentions food, I'm like, I do like that. I could make that. And then there's something else, and it's like, I do like that. Oh, I don't have the right appliance to make that. So, you know, over time, I'll build all that back out. It gives me something to look forward to, right? Another thing to look forward to, because there's a lot of things to look forward to. Jess, you told your alien story online. One guy said it's all lies. Another said that you're dangerous. See, you're like, that's it. Welcome to the internet, buddy. Everybody's got an opinion. Some people like you. Some people won't like you. They'll say all kinds of stuff about you. I'm very accustomed to it. But yeah, I can feel my hunger building. So it's time for me to get going. Thanks for coming and hanging out, my friends. It has been a nice chill stream. Always appreciate getting to spend time with you. And I will catch up with you guys later. Stay safe and keep your fucking pants on.